button is real big.
Coach, obviously, came down to the end there. What do you feel like maybe the last 6 minutes led to the outcome?
I mean, in games like that, the last 6 minutes are just about guarding the ball and getting the rebound. And guys knocking down shots. It's not plays, not schemes, it's just will. And, we've been in these situations before, but we're building a bit of a base with the guys who are new with us. Jock, not playing, past few games, coming in, being ready. Ish didn't play yesterday, he comes in and plays a huge role. And then down the stretch, our guys made enough plays. It just felt like the 50-50 balls just went their way like time and time again. We just couldn't come up with that ball, but I told our guys, like, whether it's officiating or the ball not bouncing our way, we just gotta keep our poise. And I thought we did a really good job, especially in the last seconds when we fouled. Our guys were on board and knew exactly what we were trying to accomplish. And our spacing was pretty good when they tried to hit Book, and we were able to just execute our game plan. That might have been the only schematic thing that, helped us, but the other stuff was just our guys willing themselves to get rebounds. Like DA and Torrey on the glass tonight. I thought Torrey's offensive rebound was huge to put it back, and then DA was just a monster with 21 rebounds. So just a lot of will and grit out there tonight.
Just follow up with Deandre, just the last couple games, to have those in a back-to-back. What's it say about him as far as just being relentless on it?
I mean, to do that, after how played last night, says a lot about the conditioning that he's put the work in. And what people don't know is the young man has been coming to the gym at crazy hours, lifting Corey so that he can be prepared for moments like this. And it's just good to see the work pay off. And it's good to see him have monster games against a really good team on a back-to-back. That's pretty impressive. And we let him bring it in tonight, because we typically don't look at the numbers because everybody's contributions are important, even though sometimes guys put up extraordinary numbers. Sometimes it's Book, Chris, Mikhail, and DA. But when you put up 29 and 21 on a back-to-back, that's impressive.
Monty, you talk about the standard a lot with Deandre when he has huge games. Is this 2 games coming back to that a bit where like this is the standard you want to hold him to?
I mean, this is, he'll say something to you guys about how I'm on him all the time, but this is why. I mean, you know what guys are capable of. They may not be able to do it every night, but we have guys that can not just put up numbers, but they can put up numbers that allow you to win games. And when you put up monster numbers like that effectively help you win games, like that is a standard. The league is full of guys who can put up numbers, but can you put up those kinds of numbers and they effectively help you win a game? That's a standard that we want to, hold our guys accountable for, and we try to call them up to that level all the time. So it's just good to see him play that way on a back-to-back.
Is there balance in there too when it's like tonight, when just the offensive glass, it's something so simple, but yet you see in the fourth quarter everyone knows who's trying to go get it and they just couldn't stop him?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's Kevin. He's been pushing our guys all year. I mean, Book had 4 tonight, DA had 8, Torrey had 3. Like, that's a lot of rebounds in your starting group. Sometimes Mikhail can't get him because he's guarding the toughest guy on the perimeter. But to see those guys crash and come up with impactful rebounds that allow for us to get more possessions is huge. And again, on a back-to-back, we played a tough game last night and come back in here and have that kind of effort. It was pretty cool to watch.
You talked about some of the newer guys, learning the lessons or kind of going through this. What are the biggest kind of things that you want those guys to pick up on going through some of these late game situations and close games?
Yeah, I think the guys that we've had here in the program, they understand the motives behind the things we try to do. It doesn't always work out, but we work on it enough to the point where if you're new, you're like, man, we gotta do this again. And we do it over and over again because you don't need it until you need it. And the guys who have come into the program, hopefully they understand, like, these are the things that we do to try to give ourselves a competitive advantage. That's it. It's not to coach, just to coach. You know, we try to do things that help us in these moments, but make no mistake about it, it's the players that execute it. Because you can put all the schemes on the floor you want to. The players go out there and work within the schemes, and then they make plays.
You talked about before the game how difficult it is to get guys like Jock into the game.
Yeah,
He came out,
Yeah.
Ish as well, came out and had an impact.
yeah.
How much of a luxury is
Thank you for calling me a hypocrite. I feel a big win. I just felt like we needed some type of injection. You know, it wasn't like we weren't playing hard. We just needed a bit of a boost. And you never know. I told the coaches, I'm like, it looks good because it worked. You know, but MB's been telling me about his work. You know, and what he's been doing away from the game. He's been preparing himself for the moments like this. And look, I could go right back to Biz next game. We'll just have to wait and see. But we were having a tough time in the pick and roll, finishing around the basket outside of DA. And I just felt like we needed some type of injection, something new that could help us have a competitive advantage. That's all you're trying to do. Every decision is based on that.
Look, obviously didn't have the best shooting night, but he still managed to put up 27, 11, 7. What were you seeing from him?
I put a lot on his shoulders. I mean, he's off of back to back. I got him out there 39 minutes, and it's, you know, hypocrite. You know what I mean? I keep saying I'm not going to do it, but it was almost like he got his second win early in the fourth. In the third, there was a turnaround jump shot, and there was play like up and down, then he had a turnaround, and he fell, and I could see his face. I was like, man, he's tired. But then in the fourth, it was almost like he, you know, put in some high test, you know, and just kept going and going and going. And it just felt like he had another gear, and then I was able to get him out for 2 or 3 minutes, and then he came back and was able to close it out.
He gets in those modes of just, I'm going to attack the rim regardless. As a coach, are you like, hey, let's still, you know, look?
Nah,
Okay.
I don't want to. I think players have to play without reins, if you will, especially the elite guys. You know, I give him keys or reminders from time to time, and he'll be like, oh, okay, coach, I got you, that kind of thing. But that mode, I don't want to mess with. Because I could see what he was trying to do. We had action going on one side, and he was looking to take off because that was the only gap that he could get to the basket freely. Because every time he has the ball, there's like 2 guys in the paint waiting on him. So we were running a play while they were dealing with that. He was taking off. It seemed like a really good time to attack the basket.
Besides the bench came out in the fourth, and it seemed like they were having a quiet scoring before the first 3. So what did you see in those adjustments down the stretch?
I mean, we're just, again, it's all about competitive advantage. You don't really know. You're just trying to throw guys out there that can help you in certain areas. We felt like Jock could go out there and finish around the basket if they switched. We know he has the ability to punish smaller guys. With Ish, it was just about physicality. When we played in Utah, I can just remember being on the plane thinking to myself, we didn't give ourselves a chance to win by not being bigger and physical. And we're not bigger height-wise, but I mean, Ish is one of the few guys that, you know, he's not the tallest guy, but he's got some size on him, and he uses it well. And I thought he had a couple of crackback steals tonight that really gave us some juice. And then, you know, a couple shots he made, the late clock one in the first half, and then the one in front of our bench, I was like, you know, those are ones you don't count on, but you're glad you got them when you got them.
Thank you, Coach.
All right,
Thank you.